Only injury to report of is Luke Gifford was evaluated for a concussion, did not return, so we'll see what that looks like. Probably going to end up in the protocol this week. Other than that, I think it comes down to two really critical areas for us, and one of them was third down defense. I think they were like 7 of 8 in the first half. Joe Burrow did Joe Burrow things, and we didn't do a good enough job of getting them down, but they converted way too many third downs. I think over the game they were, 9 of 12 or something like that last time I saw the stats. So need to be better there for sure. And then obviously you can't win with 6 turnovers. It's a good football team. You can't turn the ball over 6 times. We gave up 24 points off the turnovers. That's a game that we played well enough to start. I thought we had enough early in that game to make it a dogfight, and we ended up giving them too many opportunities that against a good offense like that they capitalized on, and it wasn't good enough. So disappointed. It just turnovers. They call penalties on both sides today. There was a bunch of penalties on both sides. Kind of sloppy game in that regard, and disappointing in that regard too. So we're going to keep working, keep trying to get what we can get fixed, and come back and get ready to fight again. But disappointed in the outcome and how this game played out. But ultimately, if you can't stop them on third down and you turn the ball over 6 times, it's going to be tough to win.
How do you handle the situation with Will going forward?
Today wasn't his day. He had a couple bad picks, put us in some tough spots. So I made a decision to sit him down and try to give us a little bit of a spark. I think we had a series there. It was like 3 turnovers in like 7 plays or something. Again, not the fumbles necessarily weren't his fault, but one of them was. And those are things that you have to do sometimes for a quarterback when they're struggling a bit, and he was struggling today. So we'll see moving forward. We got to watch the tape and see what we can correct and how we can do it better. But definitely wasn't his day today.
The fans got up out of their seat, standing ovation once Will came out of the game. What do you make of that? To loudly hear from Titans fans how they feel.
I don't know. I don't worry about those things. I try to focus on how we can improve and get better. Fans react to what they react to, and don't have much control over it. And if that's the way they feel that way, they feel that way. There's nothing that I'm going to do to try to explain one good or bad. And so we just trying to keep focused on what we can get better and what we can do to hopefully have it so they can cheer on a whole bunch of other things other than that. So that's kind of where I stand.
The first turnover on the day, what was that play call? Was that supposed to be where you were supposed to pull it and run with it? It was the fumble.
Yeah, it was a we were like 3rd and 12, and we were on the fringe and field goal. We were trying to get 5 yards, and because it was 3rd and 12, and I didn't want to go any further backwards, and so went back and forth between a kind of a quick throw or one of those quarterback runs, and they played it well. Trey Henderson ran it down from the backside, but it was a designed quarterback run to try to get us somewhere into a field goal range without dropping back at that point and 3rd and 12. So decision we made to do it, and then we just got to hang on to the ball. The play didn't get executed the way we wanted to on the backside, and we just got to hang on to it.
Do you still consider Will your starting quarterback, or is that open to evaluation and debate now?
Look, I think we'll get through today. I'm not going to make any definitive statements one way or the other. We just have to make sure we can correct what we saw on tape and where we had a tough day for him. And again, sometimes these things happen where you have a rough day and you got to get sat down. So I'm not going to make any statements about it, and we got to see where we can get better and how it worked in the game and where we can improve.
In the past about not wanting to be reactionary with benchings. What made this specific situation something where you felt like it needed to happen?
Just needed some momentum. We needed something to spark us a bit, and we had 3 turnovers again in a really tight amount of time, and that gave them some points. And they had another one we got a little bit lucky on at the ball didn't go back the other way for 6 points again. So just felt like we needed something. And again, not everything's on the quarterback, but he's the one that's going to take the most heat when those decisions happen. And so felt like we just needed something to spark us out of that part. We played really well early, and then the turnovers in succession there really put us in a tough spot. And in a game where I thought it was going to be tight at halftime, it ended up not being that way because we gave them opportunities that that they shouldn't have had. And again, sometimes those things happen. I've been a part of those before, where just a bad series that just kind of spiraled on them, and you need to take a seat for a little bit and let somebody else do it.
You had a string of maybe 5 pretty solid games in a row. Was there anything in particular? You just chalk it up as say just a bad day, or was there anything in particular that wasn't going well for him today?
You know, it's just when things start to spiral. You know, the ball, he throws a high ball to Nick Westbrook and it gets popped up, and you know those are interception balls when the ball gets popped in the air. You know, he has that one, and then we fumble it, and then you know we throw the ball right to the cut safety on a play that we had a chance to score a touchdown on with the ball going down the field. Just it was built for that exact thing, for the safety to cut and the ball to go behind it, and he just didn't feel the cut and ended up throwing it right to him. And at that point, it was just felt like it was time for a shakeup at that point, just to help us get out of that hole.
For him to have a chance to be your guy, and I don't know where you are in that point, but doesn't he have to be able to pull himself out of that? Don't guys in general have to be able to pull themselves out of it when they're going south?
Yeah, in general they do. I just think it went south really fast, and there was had a bunch of momentum change and shift, and it was just a decision that I made that it was to try to help spark us and maybe have him take a deep breath and take a seat. So yeah, there's a time and a place to fight through it, and there's a time and a place to do what I had to do today, and that's ultimately my decision to make, and that's what I felt like gave us a chance to at least climb back in the game at that moment.
It seemed like at the beginning of the game, you guys were operating under center a lot, which got you into a bit of a flow. You guys, went up early. And then you kind of changed and shift avenues and went more shotgun. Was there a reason for that? Was it the momentum shift in the game, or?
It was the game script a little bit. I mean, they jumped up on us, and I was trying to be patient with trying to still run the ball a bit, and you just looked up, and there wasn't a lot of possessions left, and we had to start to throw it and start to move a little more tempo if we wanted a chance to get back in the game. And we got plenty of things under center in the gun, and when we got out of our rhythm that we wanted to stay in when they caught a lead there off some of the turnovers or so. The game got a little bit away from what we wanted to be for the majority of it, and had to move into more of a passing situations.
Was there any lingering issue with Will's shoulder at all today?
Not that I was aware of. Everything that this week was good, and he gave the green light, trainers gave the green light, and he threw the ball well in practice. So, I go off of that information best I can and try to make the best decision, and he seemed like he was ready to roll.
If you do decide to continue with him for the rest of the year, what would be behind that decision? Why would you make that decision if you did?
For him to continue.
For Levis to continue.
Yeah, just like you said, you still got to find a way to pull yourself out of it. He's had a couple really pretty decent games in a row that was positive, and then really two back-to-back games that I think we all agree he can play better in. And so we're going to keep coaching, and then when he's ready to roll again, and we got to find a way to keep playing better football and keep improving, because right now it's not good enough.
Do you feel that those positives wholeheartedly outweigh the negatives that have been put on film like today?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of positives that I do like and I am excited about. It's just there's too many negatives that don't give us a chance to win a game, and that's where we're at right now. Is we're trying to find ways to win games, but we're not getting enough positive plays in a row from the quarterback position, and that to me is where that's the hard part. Is that these guys are fighting. Our team fights like crazy. They work hard. They practice hard. They do things the right way, and they fought in that game until the very bitter end of it, and that part I appreciate. So you want to give those guys that are fighting too, feel like they got a chance to go compete in the game and not have the ball turned over too often. So those are the things that I got to deal with and manage with our football team in general, and then manage with Will on top of it. So those are the things that I focus on.
3 penalties on late.
Three takeaways, and you get the early 14-7 lead. Do you feel like you're in pretty good?
Thought we were in great shape. I thought that game was playing out exactly how I thought we were capable of playing it. They're a good football team, but I thought that we had a chance to. I thought we had a chance to go make a competitive game and had a chance to win it. And the way it started was the way I thought it would go. I thought it was going to be back and forth the whole game, and we were going to have to do a good job. And ultimately, against a team like that, you can't turn it over, and that's where it got away from us. But I was confident in our game plan. I was confident in how these guys played and came out and ready to play, and ultimately gave them too many chances. And a team with a quarterback like that, you give them too many chances, they capitalize.
3 penalties on JC. Would you say he's still in his dip?
Well, I thought he played well. I think, I have to watch all the details of it, but outside of the penalties, he protected pretty well. I thought we had a good pocket for most of the day. Trey's an elite rusher. I thought he held his own against him. But, yeah, the penalties are tough, especially the one where we were 3rd and 3 and we false start into a 3rd and 8. That makes it a lot harder. Got to find a way to get those fixed, and I'll be on top of that to try to get it fixed.
Your pass rush, when Joe had a lot of time, obviously, it's a killer. What'd you think of the rate at which you got back there?
Yeah, I mean, we had to get him on the ground. That was how the game was going to play out. We had to get him when we had chances to get him down, and we didn't do a good enough job of it. He created a lot of their third down opportunities off the structure, not off the script. And that's what he does. He does that to everybody he plays, and we didn't do a good enough job containing that part, knowing that was going to be key to the success of containing the offense, was getting him on the ground. We had opportunities. We hit him, we affected him, but he made too many plays outside of the pocket and getting out of the pocket when we had chances to get him down, and we didn't finish it. So we didn't do a good enough job there.